everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. Had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
Let's go. What happened?
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Oh, he's going to take it. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That one good for 37 yards. Well, there's a pretty big start right there. They go bombs away on the first play from scrimmage.
Put a smile on your face, didn't it? Not because you're rooting for anyone, but that's the way to begin a game, to put someone back on their heels and announce that they plan to be aggressive.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it's second down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Understandable, we're going to see some of this first game of the year and a penalty.
Yeah, we are, and don't forget the emotion of it all as well. I mean, they've been building to this crescendo the entire offseason, so we may see some of this in the early part of the game.
If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And a broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. So first and 10 now from the 30. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff. And Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Man open left side is Brown. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards on the play. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Again, it's Stafford. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the touchdown run came from Kerryon Johnson to cap things off. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Watch the twins. Hey, watch it. Watch it. Hey, Delta.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Well, he's going to take a shot right away, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He's going to air one out. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6 as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a 1st.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Out of the gun, Stafford. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
50, plant. Hey, exit. Hey, let's go. Crunch time, defense. Get it.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick, but when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
You have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
X3, 218, chop.
First down, here's the run with Cook. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. Remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. The Vikings now heading onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Like 22.
They're going to look to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Devon Kennard. In there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
the orb. Here we go. Mike 22, Mike 22. Hey, orbit. Right up.
They'll set up a throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Go. Mike 22 is coming. 22 is coming. Mike. Here we go. Mike 22, Mike 22. Rock it. Get that ball. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Get it.
They're going to try and throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. A big pickup there. 20 yards as they convert on fourth. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Going deep for Diggs. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be third and forever.
Mike 22 is coming. 22 is coming. Mike. You're out. Switch. Ready.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. This is caught inside the 15. Well, that's how you convert on third down with an explosive gain of 34. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do? Put a man on him. The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing. Change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
To the right and complete to Galladay. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Stafford now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, 38 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations,
when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Stafford. Left side completion to Jones. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They'll throw now on the final play. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Hey, wahoo! 22's coming, 22's coming, Mike.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep. He's got a man, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. One heck of a third down conversion, 33 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
They'll set up to throw. Left side, it's Dorsett. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Back to throw. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs there to make the grab, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within one score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Look at me. Door.
They'll try and run it here. And he'll get in as they're back within his score now. The lead's down to 7, and that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the two-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their two-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. This is brought in at the 21. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Go! Hard! Slow! No! Pilot, 64, weak!
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, defense. Look, squeeze. Yeah. Hey, lock it. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Let's go.
Again, it's Cook. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Protein spill now. Stand. Check.
And to give this time to the tailback. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Look at me. Zipper.
At the 27-yard line.
Hey.
Another carry now for Madison. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Go. Rock it.
They run. Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, 26 yards. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Stafford going for the deep ball. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Fielded at the 20. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike 51. Hey, over.
Looking to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Go! 22, he's coming, 22. Leo! Bring it! Kill! Turn up! Kill!
2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Record. Mike 22, Mike 22.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Go now.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Good. On your team. Score.
They'll run on first down. Cook. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They run it again with Cook. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Go get him. Jump. Hey, Sam up.
On first down, it's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
So Matthew Stafford in the offense. Down by 7. A minute 55 remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Kerryon Johnson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw. They've got his man complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. Now it's Stafford. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wallace. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Stafford. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Lions on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. He'll look to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with time running out as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point.
And that touchdown means a decision has to be made. Do they kick the PAT and tie it up, or do they go for two and try and win it right now?
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, team 6. Hard. Shit.
He'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be fair. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd down. It's Johnson, and he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to them.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 miles. That's just me here.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied.
Mike, ready?
You can see.
Throwing on 2nd down. Stafford, open man left side is Wallace, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 yards there, 1st down. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now it's Stafford. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Prater's kick is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Hey, Delta. Get that ball. Get that ball. Mike 22, Mike 22.
Now a first throw here in overtime. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Alpha. Oh, here we go. Oh, Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Right here. Mike 22, Mike 22. Fire.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Hey, exit.
They'll set up a throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
He'll look to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. Darius Slay with a pick. And that's how this one ends. In dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did